All Hoops Podcast.
All right, so get ready because today we are really going to dive deep into one of those stories that's basically become a legend in the world of sports.
Uh-huh.
It's the Sprewell-Carlesimo incident. Now, you probably remember all those headlines at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Just the shock.
Right.
The whole absurdity of an NBA player actually choking his coach.
It was wild.
But how much do we really know about what went down back in 1997 with the Golden State Warriors?
That's right.
Well, we've got a pretty unique perspective to share today. Former NBA player Muggsy Bogues.
Okay.
He was on that Warriors team.
Uh-huh.
And he recently was on Paul George's podcast.
Interesting.
And spilled the tea. He gave like a first-hand account of everything that led up to this infamous moment.
Okay.
And all the craziness that happened afterward.
I'm interested to hear this.
Yeah. So
I think what's so fascinating about this whole thing is it goes way beyond just like a simple act of aggression. You know, you've got this clash of personalities, a struggling team, and a very specific coaching culture in the NBA at that time.
Okay, so paint the picture for us. Who were these guys? Sprewell and Carlesimo. And what was the vibe like on that Warriors team?
Well, you've got Latrell Sprewell, obviously the all-star, a guy known for his talent on the court, but let's just say he had a bit of a rebellious streak off the court.
Yeah.
You know, think cornrows.
Yeah.
Disregard for the dress code.
Uh-huh.
A real challenge to the NBA's establishment.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, you have PJ Carlesimo, the new coach, coming in with a reputation for being incredibly intense, almost like a military drill sergeant in a league full of, you know, superstars.
Right.
His style was very much rooted in that old school mentality, that tough love.
Yeah.
And according to Bogues, he wasn't shy about using some colorful language to get his point across.
So already you can see how those two strong personalities might butt heads. But Bogues actually shared some pretty specific examples of attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sprewell was so annoyed by Carlesimo, always criticizing his clothes, that he offered to pay his fines in advance.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Bogues recounted that Sprewell literally said, "Take the money out of my check and leave you the rest alone."
Wow.
Which really highlights how the power dynamics in the NBA worked back then. Even as a star player,
Right.
Sprewell was subject to these seemingly arbitrary rules.
Uh-huh.
And Carlesimo, whether intentionally or not, was pushing those buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So this simmering resentment is building. Were there any other warning signs before things boiled over?
Well, Bogues talked about how Carlesimo would ride Sprewell relentlessly during practice, just criticizing his effort, constantly pushing him. And this wasn't just tough coaching. It was personal. You could feel the tension rising on the court.
And then it happened. The infamous practice.
Oh, yeah.
Where Sprewell finally snaps. Carlesimo is on him about something during a shooting drill. And Sprewell just